Hey, it's Big Jeff with another unboxing.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
Still doing them out of the house, so I can't hook them up, but you at least get to see it, hear about it, and know where to get it. We're talking about DD Audio today. Man, let me tell you something. We got DD in. We're only allowed to sell it on the Big Jeff Audio website, nowhere else. And also, we're a distributor in Florida, wholesale. So if you're interested, or you know a shop that would be interested, come check us out. But we're talking about a new amp, and it is small, smaller than this box. This is the SS4.1300. This is basically a 1300 watt, 4-channel, 2 ohm. It is Class D, and it's full range. But this thing can go anywhere. Price tag, $359. Well, also keep this in mind. Warranties are directly through DD. They actually have their own repair center there. It doesn't go to somebody else. So that's how much they back up their product, and the amount of time and energy and engineering goes in these things are awesome. Our return rates are tiny. What makes this thing so special? We're gonna dive into it. First, what I'm gonna do is, because a lot of these that we open up and I don't get the plastic back, and if we ship it out, somebody's like, oh, you sent me a used one. I go ahead and just sign these on the inside so they know this was in the video. Big Jeff video. Okay. Get your pamphlet. Now, in the pamphlet is not just normal specs and that. They actually have a lot of good information. But let me take this out. And you also have in here a plug for high level input. So if you don't have a big setup or you don't have an aftermarket radio, you can use speaker inputs directly into this. Why I bring that up is because this will go on boats. This thing is so tiny, it'll go on motorcycles, anywhere. It is not a marine amp, it's not water resistant, waterproof, but if you have a dry area, this is perfect. Now, that box, I would say, is almost twice the size of this little baby. So, they actually keep really good track of all their products. Now, what I mean by that is their serial numbers are tracked from birth to distributor sale to dealer sale and retail. On here, they do have a QC pass, which means this thing was hooked up and played, so they don't want you to take the cover off. Now, this is a nice, clean design. Really clean. Now, I want you to go over one. They have 4-gauge inputs, okay? And I never understood why they do such a big remote or turn on in, probably just so it doesn't look stupid having a really small wire. But you also have channel 1, 2, 3, and 4, and it is a step down. That's really cool. On the back side here, and I'll put it up to one of the cameras in a second, you have channel 1 and 2, low pass, high pass, and full, 35 hertz to 600 hertz, and then sensitivity basically from 0.25 volts all the way up to 6 volts. You have a power and protect light on here, and then you have your plug for your high level in. Then you have the same thing below it for channel 3 and 4, and then you also have 4 RCA, so you have left and right, basically channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, or you can flip the input to just have one set in running the whole thing, make it even simpler, or excuse me, or if using a high level, same thing, use that switch here. Okay, so let's look over a couple of things here. Now, I'm gonna go from the speaker terminals to the mounting tab, basically. So we are just right at 7.5 inches long. This thing is only right under 2 inches tall, and the width is about 4 3/4, just about. That is super small. You can see even my fat hands. This is where it is. Look at that. I mean, think of the applications. One, you could drop it down to 2 ohm to get the power. You have 4 channels. This would be great as a hider amp, or even on a motorcycle. I mean, just multiple applications. Specs, and I'm gonna bring those up here. Okay, so operating voltage will play down to 9 volts. I don't recommend that, but it's just showing how it could work in a motorcycle environment. Up to 16 volts. You don't get many of these amps, especially these little ones, that'll play that high. So if you do have a huge system and you're using this for doors and maybe just tweeters or your drivers or whatever, you can still have a high charging system. Test voltage was done at 14.4, and this is what they got. Continuous ratings, that's RMS. At 4 ohms, 180 by 4 or 650 by 2. So you could almost run a small subwoofer on half of it and mids and highs on the other half, even at 4 ohm. But 2 ohms, and again, you're not going to do a mono like 2 channel, but at 2 ohms, 325 by 4. Max current rating is 150 amps. The input voltage is from 0.25 all the way up to 6 volts. Now, if you have a brand new car with that has a very big factory system, that's high voltage, don't recommend that. You would need to get a high to low adapter that could accept above, that 6 or 8 volt range. But for normal radios or motorcycles, you can use that plug. This also does come with the Allen wrenches for the power and the speaker, and then some screws to screw it down. Okay, high level input sensitivity. We talked about that. Damage factor 100, THD 1%. Frequency response 20 to 20K. High pass we said was 35 to 600. And it did take 4 gauge power and ground and 14 gauge for the speaker wire. It is an aluminum chassis. Just an awesome small amp. I mean, just goes anywhere. Now, again, you're spending some money though. I'm sure you can find plenty of amps out there for $100 or less, but it's not going to be the quality. Understand in an amplifier, it's not just power. There is inside on these boards ways that they're able to tune out noises, almost kind of reconstruct the music. So there is a sound quality that you can hear in amplifiers. If you're going to put decent speakers in there, you got to have a decent amplifier, or vice versa. So DD Audio has been around. I wouldn't even call it a niche brand anymore. It's well known. There's a huge following for it, but it's made for quality. When people ask me, what's the best, Big Jeff? I can't say that. What I can say is that our return rate for DD is less than 1%. It's not even 1%. That means all the product we sell wholesale and retail, we don't even get 1% of it back. That's how well this stuff's made and tested. And the stuff that does come back, majority of it is misused, but goes to DD. When they open it up, they take pictures of it, they explain to you what the problem was, and generally if it wasn't misused, they repair it and send it back to you. But if you want to have something extra and you buy it on our website, we do have options for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. So on this particular amp, if you wanted to add 1 year, which is not just extended warranty, but also accidental coverage, which means pretty much anything could be an accident, burned out, water, dropped. You can get it replaced through CPS for $27. 2 years, $36, and 3 years for $48. $48 to have an amp that for sure 3 years is covered, or a year or two in just has to happen to have an accident, they will send out for repair or replacement. Think about it. It's definitely something to add on, but you might not even need it because of the quality of DD. So part number on this was SS4.1300. You can search that on our website using that part number, or you can go in there under amplifiers, and then you can actually use the filters to get all the way down to brand, even price ranges, how many channels. It makes it very easy at bigjeffaudio.com. So maybe we'll do a video later on where I'll be able to hook this up, but without doing this side by side with another amp, you couldn't really hear that difference. But what we could check is the power output. But I can tell you DD is not one to blow things up. It is what it is, and they give the real ratings. And some really good product. Hey, this has been another unboxing. Make sure you hit that like button, share this out, and definitely leave a comment. Good or bad, let me know what you would like to see or things that you liked about, or even so leave a comment here with questions, because either me or my staff will be able to answer them, or other followers will answer it. So it's all about interacting. That's what we do it for. I'm Big Jeff with another unboxing, DD Audio 1300 watt 4-channel amp here. I'll see you on the next one.